Greetings. Black light here, in the world, but not of the world. Separating my mind from the mind of the Caucasian or the devil's culture. You got a drug culture here in America. Gangster culture here in America. But when you hear the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, if you're receptive and open to wanting to elevate yourself, you won't participate in these vices that the devil's tempting you with every day and every second through television.
We're talking to people who have, who control the world. This is what I call freedom and good demonstrations. And these things I do, and it just cheapens me, the world heavyweight champion, to be in some restaurant trying to get a cup of coffee. When they get there, I'm going to need to buy the coffee. When I get in, I'm not going to like the music on the jukebox. Deep in your heart, you don't want me there, so that's foolish.
What is your attitude toward the white man, really?
Well, I can't really say what my attitude is. I don't, that's not for me to say. I'd have to, you could put that question on our leader, and he could give you a good answer.
Sarah Slack, Amsterdam News.
Muhammad Ali, I'd like to ask you the most obvious question. When are you going to defend your title, and whom will you fight?
Well, I may defend my title again against Sonny Liston in 4 months, and I really don't care who I fight, but it's only the tax things that hold me back. If it's up to me, I'd fight every day, but I don't know when the next one will be, really.
In the March 6th issue of Life magazine, your trainer, Angelo Dundee, speaking of you, said this, quote, "His greatest thrill is hamming it up in front of a crowd. That's why I hate to bring him to New York. New York is beyond him. It's too big. There are too many things to distract him." My question, Muhammad Ali, do you agree with the statement by your trainer, and is New York too much for you?
No, New York is not too much for me. New York, I would say, is not enough for me before I can. New York is too small for me. I mean, I like to travel, and recently we were invited to 14 nations by the governments, and I was so tired after the welcomes. After 3 of them, I couldn't go no farther, and I'm a worldly man. One city can't be too much for me. My mind is too big.
Would you clear this up for me, please? Have you and Malcolm X, the man who helped convert you to the black Muslim movement, have the two of you split?
Well, number one, it's not black Muslim. It's Muslim. Black is the name given to it by the press. It's not black Muslim. It's Muslim. And when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad cuts a man off, well, then he's automatically cut off with all of his followers. And a lot of people call it a split. It's not a split. He's just one individual who, as we say, went astray. And when say, like 2 governments split, one leader takes half, another leader takes half. Malcolm X is just there, and this is not a split. He's not big enough to be called a split.
Well, my newspaper carried a story saying upon your return from Africa, you refused to stay at the Teresa Hotel, your former
headquarters. Well, that's right. My leader told me, not my leader, but various officials said that it wouldn't be nice being in the same hotel that he was in, and whatever they say, go.
Georgiano Kane, New York World Telegram.
You just said that your leader, Elijah Muhammad, has a program that is the final answer for American Negroes. Can you give us 1 or 2 points in this program?
Well, what I would say is that time will tell. You have 22 million people wanting to integrate, pushing integration, and dying for integration, and what they want. And when they don't get it, and when you get tired of beating them side the head with clubs, when you get tired of putting dogs on them, when you get tired of killing them, well, it won't be for one way for them to turn, and that's too our leading teacher.
How do you feel about the white persons who are risking danger right now to help the Negro integrate?
Well, I feel that you have 1 or 2 people acting other than themselves, but we have people such as New York City, Los Angeles, California, Chicago, all of these good northern cities. I don't see why they can't go on down and straighten out a few bad people. I can't let one or two people blind me to facts and reality.
Many of the people who are now working in the South to help the Negro voters register are white persons. Do you feel these people are allies of yours and of your religion?
No, they're good people, and for the cause they're fighting, they believe they're right, and that's all right. We have millions of people out of jobs. We have millions of people homeless, and as the economical situation of the country is going, and just integration and the right to go in a restaurant is not going to solve nothing.
Mr. Clay, a man's religion, of course, is a very personal thing, but would I be prying too much if I ask you why your conversion from Christian to Muslim?
First of all, I'm going to say, I have a new name now. It's
Muhammad Ali.
Ali, yeah. After hearing the leading our teacher, he teaches us all about we are a nation of 20 million people that have no knowledge of self. That's a fact. We're a nation of 22 million people that have other names than our own kind. That's a fact. We're a nation of 22 million people who have no unity among us whatsoever. That's a fact. We're a nation of 22 million people that no one wants to be bothered with or even socialized with. That's a fact. We're a nation of 22 million people who are from another land, and when we were in that land, we had a religion, we had a name, we had a God. And after hearing the teachings of our leader, a man's mind is never the same again. And you can't help from being converted to the religion of Islam, because I was invited to 14 Islamic countries, and these people are the oldest people on the planet. So whatever they had was first. So whatever they had must be better than something 2,000 years old.
Here we go. I think we have one of the most controversial figures in hip-hop right now. Kifidi is in the building. How's everything?
I'm all right. And how's I'm controversial?
You're pretty controversial. You're pretty controversial. But let's go ahead and get into your whole story. So you grew up in Compton.
Yes.
And, you know, these days people have a certain perception of Compton being kind of a violent area, gang area. But when you grew up there, it was totally different.
When it first started out, yeah.
Okay, talk about that a little bit.
It was all white. All our neighbors was white. Moved out there in 1965. And, yeah, mostly our neighbors was white.
Now, the point I'm trying to make with this brother here is that, you know, you got the Crips, you got the Bloods, then you had the Blackstone Rangers and the Gangsters Disciples and different brothers acting out the gangster culture with a gangster mentality. See, these brothers thinking that this is a way to get paid. But they don't know that they still are contributing to their enslavement and the enslavement of their people. And they think they got some power because, you know, they could buy cars and live in big mansions and stuff like that. But when they die, you know, they're not going to leave their prodigy in economic freedom, because all you're doing is building the white man's world up and tearing your world down. Now, a lot of people can't see that because they use white people as a role model. And in actual reality, when we go back to the Bible, let's revisit that passage Jesus being led up by the devil.
He will burn up the chaff with unquenchable fire. Then come Jesus from Galilee to Jordan unto John, to be baptized of him. But John forbade him, saying, I have need to be baptized of thee, and comest thou to me? And Jesus answering said unto him, Suffer it to be so now, for thus it becometh us to fulfill all righteousness. Then he suffered him. And Jesus, when he was baptized, went up straightway out of the water, and, lo, the heavens were opened unto him, and he saw the Spirit of God descending like a dove, and lighting upon him. And lo, a voice from heaven, saying, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Then was Jesus led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward an hungered. And when the tempter came to him and said, If thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread. But he answered and said, It is written, Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God.